we are raising the tempo of these demands to make sure that something coherently is supplied, not to the opposition in Parliament alone, but to the country. Thirdly, and relatedly, you made an allusion to the report of the Human Rights Commission. I beg that we do not refer to that commission again because this is under capture. So it needs rescue. We shall discuss it in the agencies that need to be rescued from captivity. It has a very serious leadership challenge, and we shall mount a rescue plan for it after we have dealt with these matters ongoing now. Now, relating to the performance of our park committees, true, the rules allow for a member to read a report on behalf of the chairperson in the absence of the chairperson and the deputy. One thing is very clear. The reports being read by the NRM members are reports of Parliament, and they were made under the supervision of the opposition chairpersons and deputy chairpersons. So they are our reports. There is no denial as to their existence and their content. Thirdly, the question of reports of the Director General taken omnibus is not our problem. It's the problem of the work methods of Parliament. First of all, the rules are such that the reports of the Director General be considered in a period of 6 months. But guess what? We're supposed to receive them in December or earlier in January, but they come way about February, March. And that's the same time within which the House is considering the budget framework paper. And when you consider the budget framework paper, no other committees, standing committees, do not work, meaning that we lose over 3 months dealing with budget framework paper. The park committees lose 3 months. So they are literally left with only 3 months to work. And you expect them to produce reports of over 70 entities. Take an example of COSASE with over 60 plus entities. Park Central with a myriad of them. Think about the local governments. There are several of them. You know, so it's a question of what the rules say and what is practically feasible. I think the House needs to reconsider the time given to these park committees to produce reports. But also, I hasten to say this, that in the history of these park committees, we have had more reports under the kind of opposition than any other opposition. So we do not dictate their response, but we shall determine the efficacy or the acceptability of their response.
In another news, youths across the country have come out to thank the government of Uganda through its political and developmental programs like Emyoga. Minister Evelyn Annette has thanked the President of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, saying that it has been so good and so great when it comes to youth's programs in our country. We have more.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the EU Ambassador, Mr. Cedric, and your colleague, the members of Parliament representing the young people of Uganda, the female youth MP for the whole nation, the MPs for North, East, West, and Central, the young people from the various schools, the young people in business, the heads of the different government parastatals who are supporting the young people of Uganda. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask all of us first and foremost to put our hands together and clap for General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for making time. Your Excellency, you've done an excellent work for this country, Uganda. First and foremost, by making Uganda to be stable now for 37 years. Your Excellency, for that, we are sincerely grateful to you as the citizens of Uganda and especially the young people of Uganda. Let's clap for him. Mr. President, you have been able to support the young people. It is for you that the young people have representation in politics from the village level up to the national level. Your Excellency, Uganda has been a ground for learning for many countries to see the involvement of young people in the development of their economies. And you have done this ably. And Your Excellency, today I am amazed that you have come not in a youth political activity, but to support the young people in business. Mr. President, you have supported the young people to come into the development of the economy. First, you brought a program called Youth Livelihood Program. You invested money in that program. You did invest money in the Youth Venture Capital Fund. Your Excellency, you say the young people's businesses have got to recover. When COVID hit the globe, you introduced a program called the SME Recovery Fund. Mr. President and ladies and gentlemen, you did hear the representative of the young people, Honorable Nyamtoro, talk about 38% of the young people being in business. Your Excellency, for that you invested 200 billion. The young people have not accessed this money. I heard them asking questions here. Your Excellency, it is not your responsibility. You did your work. It is now the implementing agencies. And the central bank is here represented by Barugaba. I'd like to ask him to stand up, because after here he has to explain to the young people how they will access the money to support their businesses. That is Barugaba there. Your Excellency, you also guided that we must involve your young people in the development of our economy. You did not only talk, but you walked the talk. You built industrial hubs in the 20 zones of the country, and the industrial hubs are standing. For that, I want to ask the young people to clap for you, for your skilling them. Your Excellency, you took your time. I give you kudos. I watch national leaders like yourself and international leaders, but I have not seen a leader of your caliber. You took time and you're speaking to the young people, understanding what they're exhibiting, how they're doing the production. Today, the young people in front of you here want to tap your knowledge and wisdom of how they can start and do business. Your Excellency, it is away from politics, it is business. You have made a call to the young people of this country. You asked them not to take politics as a career, but you told them that they must go take politics as a service, but most importantly, focus their energies on developmental areas. Your Excellency, we are eagerly waiting for your knowledge, because whereas you're a politician, but you are also a businessman, and you started at a tender age, we believe that the young people can tap into your knowledge. Your Excellency, I do not like to speak about myself as your student, but I have learned to transit from politics to business. And I believe many young people here are happy to leave politics and go into business. If you believe, say, yay. Your Excellency, you've heard for yourself, it's a fertile soil. I know as the master who plants the seed, today you'll plant the seed of transformation and developing the economy of Uganda through business. Mr. President, I want to take this opportunity to thank the European Union that have come here to support these young people. I want to, in a very special way, thank the members of Parliament who moved away from organizing political forums to organizing a business forum. The young people before you came, Mr. President, from Makerere, from Chiambogo, asked that they need us to have these forums to the grassroots level, such that the young people can be able to get this information. Your Excellency, indeed, that is where we are moving. Your Excellency, my final point is that 60% of the national budget has been dedicated for public procurements. I want to thank you that you accepted that we support the young people, and for that we have ring-fenced that every procurement below 100 million should be given, 100 billion and million should be given to the young people of Uganda. Your Excellency, we talked about partnership. The young people here are happy to come together and partner and be able to supply government and be able to do business in partnership. Your Excellency, as an excellent teacher that you are, who knows how to break it down for the young person and for the ordinary citizen.
For GNTV at 12, Clinton Nabwe.
Clinton Nahwe for that beautiful report. And in more news, human rights defenders in Kampala and across the country have urged the government of Uganda to work hand in hand with people in fighting human rights violators in all forms. These human rights defenders had met in Kampala in a workshop where they have been taught new techniques while fighting these human rights violators. We have more.
Bandi badde bajja ku board nga bayita mu Uganda Law Society oba balanyizi b'eddembe ab'enjawulo bandi badde bajja ku board ne twetaba stakeholders ab'enjawulo omuli poliisi omuli abalamuzi n'abantu abo abakulembeza ab'ebitundu ne tutula wansi ne twamunayizinga ne twogera ku nsonga zino ez'abantu abatulugunyizibwa kubanga abo tunuddemu bantu bangi nnyo bayita mu mbeera y'okunyigirizibwa n'okusingira ddala baganda baffe abali mu mawulire baganda baffe abali mu byobufuzi babakuba emiggo babonaabona mu kubonaabona okwo mu kuba emiggo okwo teri n'omu avaayo kukyogerako bwetugenda mu security personnels batubuzaabuza tebaagala kintu ekyo kitukole kitambule ng'ekirina okutambula. So nsaba gavumenti ng'eyita ku muntu wa bulijjo tugende tweteba stakeholders ab'enjawulo omuli abapoliisi bannamateeka abali mu bitongole eby'enjawulo naffe abalangizi b'eddembe tujje tutuule nga Wakiso district committee eya human rights w'ekikola tutuule wansi twamunayizinge tumanye nti eno fundamental pillar gye tulina okukozesa engeri gye tusobola okwewalamu ekyo ekintu ky'okutulugunya abantu abo. So tunooza tunakikola ekintu ekyo ne kaluke tugenda okgenda mu 2026 kagenda kutwanguyira nnyo okulaba nti ebintu by'okukubakuba abantu n'okutyobola eddembe ly'obuntu likendedde era tebiriiwo.
Enkola ya Black Monday yatuyambanga nnyo okulaba nti nno abantu bamanyisibwa era ne balabisibwa. Kati bw'oba otunuulidde incidence ng'eno eyabbibwa amabaati g'Kalamoja olaba nti singa wabaddewo Black Monday nga buli abantu bakyogerako abantu bano ababba amabaati baali badde bo beekuba bokka mu mutima ne bazzaayo n'amabaati ago ate n'okuswala ne baswala oba oliawo abamu ne balikulira n'ebifo byabwe kubanga ekintu ekyo kyali kibi nnyo nga kyoleka abakulembeze abaali badde bateeka mu nkola okubeera nti emirimu gitambula bulungi ate nga bebamu be bagityobola.
Linnya eryange nze Erikasirye chairperson wa Wakiso District Human Rights Committee. Constitution ya Uganda yateekawo enkola ebiriwo okuba nti nno protectinga oba ekuuma abalwanyizi b'eddembe ly'obuntu. Article 38 eya Constitution ewa obuyinza buli munnayuganda okwenyigira mu nsonga zonna ez'obukulembeze bw'eggwanga oba ezireetawo enkola ennuŋŋamu eyinza okutuukibwako nga eggwanga lino lifugibwa. Ekyo gw'osa okikola munnayuganda nga ggwe oba osobola okukikola mu kitongole kyo. So kitegeeza nti no abalwanyizi b'eddembe buli kye bakola bakikola mu mateeka. Era constitution yaffe yeemu eteekawo ekitongole kye tuyita Uganda Human Rights Commission. Ekyo nga kirina okulondoola ensonga z'eddembe ly'obuntu era n'okulaba nti nno kifulumya ripooti eziraga ensonga z'eddembe ly'obuntu we ziyimiridde mu ggwanga. Ekitongole ekyo kirina n'okulaba nti nno kikuuma abalwanyizi b'eddembe ly'obuntu wabula n'abantu bonna nti wabeerawo ensonga ze ng'omuntu yenna atyoboddwa eddembe lye ayinza okwekubira endulu mu kitongole kya Uganda Human Rights Commission n'asobola okuba nti awulizibwa era n'afuna obwenkanya. N'ebitongole bwannakyewa mu mulamu ogwo we bitambulira okulaba nti no biyamba abantu bonna bonna. So kati lwaki njogera kino njagala okubalaga nti ebitongole byonna ebyekikola ebyokulwanira eddembe ly'obuntu ebibikola mu bukyamu biri constitutionally mandated okukola ekyo. Kati abalwanyizi b'eddembe ly'obuntu ebiseera ebisinga ate tulabye nga poliisi oba ebitongole ebikuuma eddembe bivaayo ate okubatulugunya. Bwe njogera abalwanyizi b'eddembe ly'obuntu tegeeza ne bannamawulire kubanga bannamawulire be bantu abasookera ddala okufulumya information singa wabeerawo omuntu yenna atyobodde eddembe lye. Ekintu ekyo kye bakola bakikola mu butuufu. Amateeka gabawa obuyinza okuba nti nebakikola naye ogenda nolaba ebiseera ebisinga nga ebitongole ebikuumaddembe ate nga bibayisa bubi bibatulugunya bibakuba ekyo nno ffe tukivumirira kubanga kyova olaba nti olwaleero twagala okutegeeza abannamawulire nti amateeka weegali agabakuuma era muyina ne guidelines muyinza okuyitamu kyova olaba nti nno tubadde tubasomesa tubabangula musobole nti nga tugenda mu kaseera k'ebyokulonda gwe nga munnamawulire olina okumanya engeri gy'ogenda okunoonyamu information n'ekirala olina okumanya engeri gy'ogenda okwekuumamu oleme kweteeka mu line of fire wabula osobola okufuna information yennyini gy'olina okuweereza abantu naye ng'ofuddeyo naawe gwe munnamawulire ng'ofuddeyo obulamu bwo engeri gye buyinza okuba nti nobukuumibwamu.
Amanya gange Babiri Prosi nkola ku kitongole bakiyita the National Coalition of Human Rights Defenders Uganda. Mulimu gwaffe omukulu kwe kulaba nti human rights defenders are protected even as they do their work. Tumaze wano ennaku 3 tubadde n'abalwanyizi b'eddembe nga 35 okuva mu bitundu ebyetoolodde tugiyise Central Region okuva e Masaka, okuva e Wakiso, okuva e Kalungu, okuva e Kalangala, okuva e Rengo. So tubasomeseza obukugu ne tubawa skills, different skills engeri gye basobola okolamu emirimu gyabwe. Kye tusuubira mu ekyo nti bagenda kubeera abantu banjawulo, balwanyirizi b'eddembe ab'enjawulo, kubanga mu biseera ebisinga tulabyeko abalwanyirizi b'eddembe nga bakola ekyo kye tutabasuubiramu. Oluusi baba collecting information etali ntuufu ne ba inciting violence mu bantu, naye kati oluvannyuma lw'omusomo guno gwe tubatendeseemu ne tubabuulira omulwanyizi w'eddembe omutuufu akola atya ebintu, akola ataleetawo atya violence mu bantu, acommunicating atya, report waba nti akoze okunoonyereza okw'enjawulo atwalawa reports ze, asobola otya okumanaginga relationship n'abantu abalala nga Uganda Police. So kati tusuubira nti bano abantu betutendese bagenda kukola omulimu gwabwe mu ngeri ey'enjawulo. Ekisookera ddala bajja kubeera nga bakola omulimu gwabwe nga beesigamye ku data entuufu, si ku inciting violence mu bantu, naye bajja kubeera ne information entuufu, bajja kuba nga banoonyereza nnyo, bajja kuba nga basobola okutendeka abantu abalala, bajja kuba basically abalwanyizi b'eddembe ab'enjawulo kubanga bo babanguliddwa, bo batendekeddwa. So tubasuubiramu omulimu omulungi.
Bira nti enkola eyinza okuyambako okwongera okubbulula n'okutaasa eddembe ly'obuntu kwe kukola kye twaliise okukunga abantu nga tuviira ddala ku byalo, ne tugendera ddala ku miruka, ne tugenda ku district, nga buli muntu yenna alina obuvunaanyizibwa yali badde musaale okulwanirira eddembe ly'obuntu. Ekyo bwe kiba kikoleddwa kitegeeza nti abantu bonna bajja kubeera nga bafuna obwenkanya, kubanga bw'obeera ng'oli mukulembeze wa kyalo n'obeera ng'olina obwenkanya n'emirimu gijja kutambulira bulungi. Era nga abakuumi b'eddembe waliwo abakuuma eddembe ate balityoboola, tubakubira omulanga nti abantu bwe mutyoboola eddembe lyabwe batuuka ekiseera ne babeera violent, ate bwe babeera violent musobola okubeera nga temukyasobola bakontrolinga. So ne tusaba nti mwenna mubeere basaale mu kulwanira eddembe ly'obuntu, kuba ffenna litukwatirako wamu ate ffenna litugasa.
Kulu nnyo okulaba nti munnamawulire amanya kyalina okukola, era ebintu ebimu bye twogeddeko wano tutadde nnyo essira okulaba nti munnamawulire asobola okumanya amateeka, okutegeera nti nno singa kino kiba kikoleddwa babeera bamenya etteeka bwe riti, era omuntu oyo aba alina okuddukira wano. Kiyamba nti munnamawulire waba amanya amateeka asobola okumanya ensonga zino bwe zirina okukwatibwamu, n'atasobola kuripootinga nsonga zisasamaza abantu, n'abeera nga buli kintu kyonna kyakola akola ekintu ekiri mu bulambulukufu bwakyo. Bw'aba awandiika amawulire nga reporting, asobola kuripootinga amawulire nga gali mu bulambulukufu bwago, nga gali ku mazima n'obwenkanya. So tufuba okulaba nti nno tulwanirira eddembe ly'abannamawulire, naye nga nabo tubawa obumanyirivu obubayamba okukola emirimu gyabwe, bategeere nti eno story gy'empandiise ekwatidde ddala ku nsonga ezikwata ku bantu ba bulijjo, era basobole n'okuba nga balondoola okulaba nti abantu abakwatibwako okutuusa services ku bantu abo ba victims abo ababeera batyobodde eddembe lyabwe, bannamawulire basobola okubalondoola ne bafunira ddala ki kye bagamba.
za asimwe. GNTV at 12.
And with that report, our dear viewers of GNTV, let's now take a short commercial break. We'll be right back with more and interesting news.
This is GNTV, releasing life.
New Ways Health Limited abali kushangwa mbara enyuma ya Pelican Hotel ahachombeko cha Zakaria ground floor room number ya kashatu ebaretire mibazi eyo mulembe kandi ebakolire shande nyamulungi eya New Ways Health drink echokunga cyo mutano tichiri marwa tichiri mu food color kandi chiri 100% natural chikozirwe cardamom seeds, cloves, raisins, hibiscus, inanasi hamwe na rosemary. New Ways erimu ebirisa ebirukomeko mubiri nka zinc, fiber, potassium, calcium, magnesium, vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin B12, iron na antioxidants kandi chamizibwe aba UNBS okumanyibiri kukiraho batera hasi muzabo ezi 0 01 abirnina ningashi 0 abirnina.
Mbalahoka Sacco Limited abakushanjibwa Proti Mwenda Garage Street opposite na Easy View bakuletera ekitereke kya Christmas okweta mukazanaka kuri emigabo eri kuhika miliyoni emwe no kugaruka higuru saving emitwaro 10 no kugaruka higuru buri zoba kandi utakusihayo tandikana kibanza cyo ku 10 mpaka 20 byo ku 12 yiguza fixed account ote sente zikuhika miliyoni 3 kandi utasihayo shashura loan omwire leta y'abantu 10 biguza account Mbalahoka Sacco kuri kibanza cyo ku 10 mpaka 20 byo ku 12 okwihangurira birabo nyamwinji abeta biri mukarura akabona mbakomba hangu ibirabo nka embuzi, enkoko, emicheri, soda, woofers, emifarasi, t-shirts, enkofira, emitaka hamwe n'ebindi bingi kandi bangusubona mbakomba ranjirwa a radio hamwe na TV zona buri muwena na ikiziko kwigura account kandi aketa mukazanaka iyo njengo mu Christmas age hamwe na Mbalahoka Sacco Limited okumaye kukiraho gambana marketing manager not mushanju not emwe chenda na mushanju kaga na mwenda ana na mushanju hamwe na not mushanju mukaga emwe 19 nkaga nina abiri na mwenda Mbalahoka Sacco tukwatira mu kwetu ngurumbi entasya Nishara y'ikigambo ohwirimo amani ohindikira umutima King of Kings Church hamwe na Bishop Silas Saiba na Bishop Nicola Tayegwa mbakumaisha ku Sunday service zitanika shayi nechweka mpaka shayi nechweka service ya kabiri etanika shayi nechweka mpaka shamushanju nechweka prayer extra etanika shamushanju nechweka mpaka shamwenda youth service etanika shayi 10 nechweka mpaka 12 nechweka ijatsabe hamwe King of Kings Church ebya ubyona biterere King of Kings Church, loving God, loving you.
This is GNTV, releasing life.
Our beloved viewers of GNTV, will be back from that short and commercial break. And in case you've just joined us, this is GNTV at 12 Bulletin with ALLIAN KABANDIIZE. To continue with our news, wetland encroachment threatens Uganda's crested cranes in Kigezi sub-region and Uganda at large. It is reported that in 1980, the population of these Uganda's crested cranes was over 100,000 in Kigezi sub-region, but now it is said that it is at 10,000 and 20,000, which is worrying. Leaders in Kigezi have come out to explain about this and have promised to also embark on the presidential directive. The report.
Bandi badde bajja ku board nga bayita mu Uganda Law Society oba abalanyizi b'eddembe ab'enjawulo bandi badde bajja ku board ne twetaba stakeholders ab'enjawulo omuli poliisi omuli abalamuzi n'abantu abo abakulembeze ab'ebitundu ne tutula wansi ne twamunayizinga ne twogera ku nsonga zino ez'abantu abatulugunyizibwa kubanga abo tunuddemu bantu bangi nnyo bayita mu mbeera y'okunyigirizibwa n'okusingira ddala baganda baffe abali mu mawulire baganda baffe abali mu byobufuzi babakuba emigo babonaabona mu kubonaabona okwo.
Wetland encroachment by farmers and high market demand for the sale of grey-crested cranes have led to the decline of the national bird, which has raised fear amongst environmentalists and conservationists in Kigezi sub-region. The depression of wetlands has forced the crested cranes to move to farmlands in search of food, putting them in conflict with farmers who kill them and poaching them for sale to their neighboring countries of Rwanda and DR Congo. In the Kigezi sub-region, wetlands have been encroached on due to different farming activities. Henry Mifundinda, program manager of Nature Uganda, says that the wetlands have been encroached on due to the different farming activities, and as a result, crested cranes cross the farmlands, which put their lives at risk. Thus, the cranes are sometimes being killed through poisoning. He adds that sometimes the crested cranes' chicks and eggs are stolen, which has greatly affected their population. He also says that in 1980, the population of cranes was over 100,000 cranes in the Kigezi sub-region, but currently the population is at 10,000 to 20,000, which is worrying. He adds that they are worried about the extent to which the population of the crested cranes is declining.
Worried about the loss, the extent at which the population of the cranes are dwindling. Like I said, we have lost over 80,000 in 20 years. Meaning that in another 20 years, actually we may find even we have less than 1,000. Unless we take a serious decision to protect them. We are too worried that if we don't, we shall only find maybe in the future generation, maybe 20, 30 years, they may only be seeing the Uganda cranes on the what? On the emblem, on the flag, and maybe you see there are very many people using it. Makerere University, Uganda Police are all using the crane on their emblems. We shall only end up only looking at them unless we take a serious decision and government comes and help us as conservationists to ensure that we protect the Uganda cranes. Otherwise, at the end, we shall end up having nothing.
Ntafunda also says that the crested cranes are being stolen and taken to neighboring countries of Rwanda and DR Congo for witchcraft and traditional use, saying that such acts complicate the plight of the species, which are seriously declining population. He adds that the government should come up with tough measures on wetlands restoration to restore the plight of the cranes.
It's true that actually the chicks and even those ones which are bigger are being stolen and taken to Congo, and we understand they are being taken there for cultural purposes and witchcraft. That probably when you have a feather in your house, maybe your wife will not, your husband will not go out, so therefore they will steal the feathers to keep in their houses. Others say some body parts are kept in houses so that they increase their fortunes. Then I think those are the reasons why they are being taken out. We need to establish the truth. I understand that also they are going to Rwanda, and we have participated in impounding some of these cranes being taken out. And then we have managed to hand over them back to Ua which actually takes them back to their habitat.
Jane Amumpirire, Natural Resource Officer in Rwanda District, says that currently the rate at which wetlands are encroached on sits at 97%, with only 3% to face total degradation, which is being attributed to increasing population and degradation of the catchment areas, adding that with the high demand for food which forces them to do farming in the wetlands. She adds that with the presidential initiative, they are looking to continuously sensitize the communities, since communities know the roles of wetlands.
Percentage of wetland degradation in Rwanda, currently it stands at approximately 97%, remaining with only 3% to get total degradation. And of course we attribute this to increasing population. We attribute it to degradation of the catchment areas, and of course with the high demand for food, people do try to get food from the wetland areas to sustain themselves and to get food for their households. Presidential initiative, we are looking at continuous sensitization. The communities know that the wetlands have vital ecosystem services. The challenge is getting them to know what those services are and what other alternatives they can utilize to get out of the wetlands.
Amumpire adds currently it's hard to trace crested cranes, especially when there is a cultivation all over. They don't have where to stay. They only return when farmers are not farming, thus they are being threatened, and with the time it will be depredated since it has nowhere to stay, which is so worrying. She adds that the fact that the wetlands have been encroached on.
Crested crane nowadays, you cannot trace them. When there is cultivation all over, they don't have where to stay. They return only when the wetland has been, rejuvenated during the period when farmers are not cropping, which means they are being threatened. And this being the bird species that is even on our Uganda flag, we treasure it so much, but with time it will get depleted because it doesn't have a home.
Henry Tumwesije, Natural Resource Officer for Kabale District, says that they need to take into consideration that wetlands act as a habitat to crested cranes, adding that since they have lost 60% of wetlands, this means they have also lost 60% of the bare grounds, especially the crested cranes, since wetlands are breeding places for the cranes, since it's where they lay eggs from. He further adds that the rate at which the wetlands have been encroached on stands at 60% to human activities like crop production and bricklaying. He adds that the presidential directive will greatly assist them in undertaking. Tumwesije also says that since they have clear presidential directive, they will embark on enforcement as leaders and make sure that whoever has encroached on the wetlands is evacuated. He also says that this will embark on the laws.
Because we know that wetlands are the breeding places for these crested cranes. It is where they lay their eggs and it is where they hatch from. So we have drastically seen a reduction in the number of crested cranes here. Either they have shifted or they have been suffocated, and some of them have died. And some of them that have tried to lay eggs, they cannot hatch into the young ones because of the unfavorable conditions.
At the beginning of this month, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, in his address to the nation, he sounded tough on the local resident district commissioners and parish chiefs to take action on whoever has encroached on the wetlands. With this beauty, the crested crane was chosen in the 1980s to act as the national bird on the Uganda emblem. Dza Asimwe, GNTV, at 12.
Thank you, Dza Asimwe Kajesi, for that report. And in another news, the Uganda Police, through its spokesperson, Fred Enanga, has thanked the Ministry of Judiciary, saying that nowadays the judiciary has done a very great job throughout this period. Fred Enanga has come out and said that the judiciary has convicted wrongdoers perfectly. We have more.
You are very aware that the High Court Judge Isaac Mwata found the key suspect in the murder of Maria Najerinya and Ronald Kitayimbwa, that is One Kasolo, guilty of committing 6 offenses against them and sentenced them to life imprisonment following the kidnap, murder and aggravated robbery against the 2 victims. We are also happy that he sentenced the other co-conspirators, Hassan Kiseka, Nasif Kariango, Shafiq Mpanga, to 30 years of imprisonment on each of the counts after deducting the period they had spent on remand. They joined Isaac Senaulia, who had earlier pleaded guilty. In a separate development in Jinja City, the High Court also sentenced Felicita Namaganda, a 28-year-old female adult, to life imprisonment for sacrificing, if you remember very well, her landlord's daughter called Isabella Trinity Natsui, aged 4 years then. She was the daughter of their landlord called John Mulodi and Annette Natsasi of Kakira Cell in Jinja. The convict now joins her man friend, that is Pastor Joseph Seruviri of the Healing and Deliverance Church in Market Cell, Kakira, who pleaded guilty way back in August and was sentenced to life imprisonment for murder and an additional 30 years for child trafficking. This was another very painful incident also, where the convicts beheaded the 4-year-old girl victim, dumped her headless body in a sugarcane plantation in Kakira, Jinja, and the chopped off head was recovered in Wanyange. So like as the police and sister security agencies, to thank the public and the families of the victims, respectively, for their trust and patience as we worked jointly. That is Kampala Metropolitan, Jinja Territorial Police, that is Kira, CID, the Flying Squad, Crime Intelligence, CMI, SFC, our IT and CCTV teams, General Duties, FFU, the PRO. We also did a good job in trying really to bring out the progress of these very grisly murders that haunted Ugandans. We'd like to recognize the outstanding collaboration and partnership with the Office of the DPP, as well as the judiciary, which resulted in the successful prosecution of the suspects, of their accused persons, and their conviction. So that was necessary for us to communicate that to the public.
That report sums our today's bulletin, and dear viewers, thanks for being part of us from Monday to Friday, following GNTV at 12 bulletin with ALLIAN Kabandiize and our other programs. Many thanks goes to the GNTV news department team and our production team. Up next is a lunch hour service at King of Kings Church here in Kamkuzi. Please come and experience your holy moments with our beloved Bishop, Dr. Silas Tayebwa. Have a blessed weekend.
This is GNTV, releasing life.
New Ways Health Limited abali kushangwa mbarra enyuma ya Pelican Hotel aha chombeko cha Zakaria ground floor room number ya kashatu ebaretire mibazi eyo mulembe kandi ebakolire shande nyamulungi eya New Ways Health drink echokunywa cyo mutano tichiri marwa tichiri mu food color kandi chiri 100% natural chikozirwe cardamom seeds, cloves, raisins, hibiscus, inanasi hamwe na rosemary. New Ways erimu ebirisa ebirukombe ko mubiri nka zinc, fiber, potassium, calcium, magnesium, vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin B12, iron na antioxidants kandi chamizibwe aba UNBS okumanyibiri kukiraho batera hasi muzabo ezi 0 abirnina ningashi 0 abirnina